With college football 25 just dropping, I set myself a goal to create the most explosive vertical passing game possible. My aim was to develop a scheme that no matter what the coverage or defensive look, we could launch the football down the field and generate explosive plays. We are going to be doing this by leveraging two of the toughest formation types in the game to stop. First, with an empty formation and empty tray stack. This will spread out defenses and create a ton of easy reads where we can get downfield with the football. This formation also has some of the most unique route combos in the entire game. Then the second formation type will be a super wide double stack look with normal flex snug. This double stack will enable us to get a ton of free releases down the field where we can push the ball deep. Then the spread nature of the stack will force defense to spread to match us, simplifying our reads and giving us a ton of easy completions. So this offense will be run out of the Alabama offensive playbook, and empty tray stack can be found in these playbooks, and then normal flex snug can be found in all of these. So first up, we're going to break down the vertical shots in this offense, and this is my favorite part of this whole scheme. Here I wanted to make sure that we can utilize the whole field and we can push the ball down the field versus both man and zone coverage looks. The first vertical shot we are looking at is fade out, and this gives us 4 deep options down the field that we can hit, and if you read it right, you can really pick up some huge gains versus any zone coverage in the game. So to set this play up, come out with the trips to the wide side, then take the back a stack receiver, put him on a streak, and that is it for the setup. Now the first place we want to look on this play is the wheel on the short side of the field. Now against cover 3, this route is going to be incredible. You will see that he'll get in behind the flat defender, then the deep blue defender is going to get run off, and now we can back shoulder this ball. Make sure you pass lead this back and away from the deep third defender as far as you can, and you can drop it in for a big gain. Then versus cover 2, it will work very similar, and if the streak on the outside gets a free release, we will hold the deep blue defender inside, then the wheel will get in behind the flat defender, and once he clears, you can drop this in for a hole shot. But you want to make sure you pass lead this ball up the field and towards the sideline to keep it away from the safeties. Then if you don't like the look of the stack side post snap, you can work to the wide side of the field, and if they're in single high, this middle slot can get down the seam, and if he's open, you can rip it for another huge gain down the field. Then the last option on this play is going to be the tight end on the deep cross, and you can check the seam, and if it isn't open, then this deep cross can be another really good vertical option that will get in behind their hooks but stay in front of their safeties for a big pickup. Then the next vertical shot play we are looking at is switch seams in normal flex snug, and this is going to be an incredible deep shot that gives us 4 options down the field and can even be a 1-play touchdown versus cover 3 defenses. Now to set this play up, come out with your running back to the short side of the field, then take your front of stack receiver on the wide side, put him on a wheel route, then take the back or stack receiver on the wide side and motion him in. Now how this works to bomb cover 3 is we'll look to the wide side, and the deep outside third is going to get held down by the wheel on the outside, and the middle safety is going to get held in by the vertical routes on the short side of the field. Then once this slot fade gets in behind the deep third, you can pass lead this up and away and bomb them over the top for a score. Then if you look to the seam route and it is being taken away, then you can look to the outside to your wheel, and once he gets in behind the flat defender, you can pass lead this out to the sideline and drop it in for a nice pickup. Then if you ever get cover 2, now both of the wheels on each side of the field are going to get outside and behind the flat defenders, and the inside vertical route will hold in the 2 safeties, and now you can fire this in for a hole shot to either side of the field. Then the weakness of this play can be the man coverage, so if they do call it, we're going to have a running back on an option route, and he's going to sit down as a check down versus zone. Then versus man, he will run an out route, and he will be our go-to way to beat man defense for this play. So for our man beater in this scheme, we have curl switch, and this will give you 5 options to beat man coverage. And this has been my favorite man beater I've used so far in college football 25. To set this play up, come out with your stack to the wide side of the field, then take your front of stack wide receiver and put him on a corner route, and that is it for the setup. Now the first route I love on this play is the corner route, and he will break off from his man coverage a ton of the time, and if there is separation, you can fire it in for a big pickup. This route is great if the user stays inside and they have no other coverage players out near the sideline. You can just throw this in for a ton of easy pickups away from the rest of their defenders. Then if you look out to the corner route and that is being taken away, then you can look inside, and we have 2 in-breakers. We have first our tight end over the middle, and this route does a great job of running away from his man, and you can drop it in for a nice pickup. Next, if the corner route is taken away and we look to the tight end and that is taken away, then we have this deeper dig coming in behind it over the middle, and this is a great third preferred option on this play. Then if post snap you're getting pressured or they're trying to blitz you, and if they do a good job of covering over the middle, then we have this whip breaking back out, and this is a great check down option for this play. Then lastly, for curl switch, we have an alert with our post. So if either pre-snap or post-snap we see that they have no deep safeties over the top, then we want to check to this deep post, and as he breaks deep, he should separate from his man, and if they have no safeties over the top, you can just bomb them deep, and this can be a one-play touchdown. Having this route on the field is a game changer that forces them to keep players back, or you can just hit this for a ton of big plays down the field. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now, you'll find part 2 of this video where I'll give you 7 more plays for this Bama offense. Then once you include these other plays, you'll really have so many different ways to not only pass the ball deep down the field, but then also have some super easy chain movers that will make this the best passing offense you have used in college football 25. Then also on the site, I have another mini scheme up for this Bama playbook that you can add to this, and a defensive mini scheme out as well. Then in the next few days, we'll be releasing our full scheme. On offense, we'll kick it off with the Oregon Ducks spread to run offense, showing you how to play like the real life Ducks, and we're going to include 2 other historic teams that used a very similar offensive scheme. Then on defense, we're going to look at the Nick Saban match coverage, an incredible way to lock down your opponents, and this is going to be based on how the real life Tide dominated college football defensively. By subscribing to the site, you'll get access to all of my Madden 24 content. Then when Madden 25 drops, you'll receive all that content plus the NCAA material all for one price. So for this site, you can purchase the yearly membership, which will save you $50 over the course of the year. Then I'm also going to be running my NCAA 25 sale on the site, and that will run until August 2nd, and you can use code CFB25 to get 50% off your first month if you do the monthly membership. And now if you want to check out the site, it will be linked down in the description below. Then the other huge advantage of these formations is the utilization of the quick pass game. By spreading the field with both empty formations and the stack spread 2x2 look, you will create natural passing lanes that force defenses to cover every inch of the field. These formations make it much harder for defenses to disguise their blitzes, letting you see them coming and pick them apart. When you pair the quick pass game with the vertical shots we went over earlier, it will make you incredibly tough to stop. Now our first quick hitter here is going to be bench corner, and this is an incredible zone beater that gives you easy options all over the field. To set this up, come out with your trips to the wide side, then take your slot on the wide side and put him on a whip, then take your front of stack receiver, motion him out and put him on a smoke screen. Now the first place I like to look on this play is the stack, and we're gonna have this C route, and at the snap, most of the time the flat defender is gonna bite down on that smoke route. Then if the linebacker hook zone on this side stays inside, then we can just quick throw this route as soon as he cuts up field for a ton of easy yards. This route is super tough to stop, and as long as the user and linebacker stay inside, you can just throw this basically every time. Then if at the snap the flight bites down on the flat route, but now the linebacker widens out over the quick throw up the seam, you can actually wait till this C route breaks out towards the sideline, and if the flat stays shallow, you can just throw this in front of the deep blue defender for a nice pickup. Then if at the snap you see the C route is completely taken away, look to the wide side of the field, and we're gonna have this deep corner route, and if the flat stays shallow on the whip underneath, throw this corner route in over the top. Then lastly on this play, if the C route is taken away and the flat is staying over top of the corner route on the wide side, then you can just check it down to the whip underneath. Then the other quick hitting play we have for this scheme is going to be Z spot in normal flex snug, and this play is a great zone beater that gives us easy options to attack each level of the field. To set this up, come out with your running back to the wide side of the field, then take your front of stack receiver on the short side and put him on a deep cross, then take your back of stack receiver and put him on an in route, then lastly take the back of stack receiver on the wide side and put him on a streak. Now right off the bat with this play, we want to look to the wide side of the field, and we're trying to high-low the flat defender. Now if we notice he is staying shallow, we're going to have this corner route breaking in behind him with the deep blue getting run off by our streak, and we can fire this corner route in along the sideline for a nice gain. Then if post snap you look and you see the flat defender is getting way back underneath that corner route, you can just quick throw the running back in the flat basically every time and just let him make a play with the ball in his hands and just pick up easy yards. Then if at the snap you see the flat is kind of taken away and you see the user leaves the middle of the field to help on that corner route to the wide side, we're going to have this deep cross coming in behind him, replacing the user in that area of the field, and you can just fire this in for a really nice pickup. Now on this play, our check down or our hot versus the blitz is can be the running back in the flat, or we're also going to have an in route breaking in over the middle of the field. And if the zones are staying back on that crosser, you can just check it down to this player underneath. Then with the inclusion of normal flex snug, we can utilize the run and RPO game. And in college football 25, read options and RPOs are incredibly powerful. So I wanted to make sure to include them in this scheme to take the pressure off you so you don't have to drop back and pass every play if you don't want to. Then for the run we're going to be using in this scheme, it is going to be RPO read GT screen in normal flex snug. This is a great read option play, but then it also has a built-in screen on each side, giving us 3 great options to attack defenses. Now the base of this play is going to be the read option, and we want to read the end. And if after the snap he fires in at the running back, then we just want to pull the ball, get to the outside with our QB, and with this screen on the edge, this should hold more defenders down. And now we can just get out into the secondary and make some big plays on the ground with our quarterback. Then if at the snap we see the read player stay back or the edge just looks closed off, then we can hand the ball off for an inside carry to our running back. Then the last option on this play is going to be the screen on the edge. And if before this snap we see that we outnumber them on the outside, then we can just flip it out right away and get upfield, and you should be able to get some really nice yards. Then lastly, if you do the read option and you keep the ball, but then you see that the defenders on the outside are crashing down at your QB to stop the run, then once again you can flip it outside to your screen and just pick up whatever yards are there. Now with just what you have here for this Bama offense, you will be in a great spot. But remember, there's part 2 of this scheme up right now on Scheme Kings that can make this offense almost impossible to stop. And then I also have my first defense out for college football 25, where I can show you guys how to use the double A gap defensive formation to get a ton of pressure on quarterbacks and create a bunch of big plays. And you can check that out right here.